40 years of loyalty gone. Not because the tractor stopped running, because the bill came back higher than the crop. That is what is actually happening in farm country right now, and the men walking away from green are not angry anymore. They are just done. Walk any serious farm auction in Iowa or Nebraska this season and count the late model green units on the trade row. 3, 4, 5-year-old machines with low hours sitting at Ritchie Brothers and big iron in numbers that would have looked impossible 10 years ago. These are not worn-out tractors. These are paid-off machines that operators chose to move, and that choice did not happen by accident. The first thing that cracked the loyalty was not the price of the tractor. It was what happened after the tractor was bought. A farmer in central Illinois calls his dealer in October. Combine is down. Fault code on the screen he has never seen before. Dealer says first available technician is 4 days out. 4 days. In October. With the beans ready and the weather turning. It is not a service failure at one dealership on one bad day. That is what consolidation looks like when it lands on your harvest. The local shop with 2 parts guys and a mechanic in the back became a regional dispatch line. And the regional dispatch line does not understand that 4 days in October is not 4 days. It is the year. Every farmer who lived that experience told somebody, and the somebody told somebody else. That is how a brand loses a county before the marketing department even knows it is bleeding. Then came the software, and this is where respect turned into something uglier. A fault code on a modern John Deere is not something the farmer clears. It is not something his mechanic clears. It sits there until a dealer technician with the right laptop shows up and types in an authorization that only one company in the world can provide. On a machine the farmer owns. On ground the farmer owns. During a window, the weather controls. The Federal Trade Commission did not file a lawsuit against John Deere in January 2025 because farmers were slightly inconvenienced. They filed it under Section 2 of the Sherman Act, the serious one, because the diagnostic lockout is a documented illegal monopoly over the farmer's own repair bay. A federal judge refused to dismiss that case in June 2025. A $99 million class action settlement landed in April 2026, with John Deere committing to give farmers diagnostic access they should have had from day one. Read that carefully. $99 million to settle a lawsuit over a farmer's right to fix his own tractor. That number tells you everything about how real the lockout was, and everything about how long the company intended to keep it in place before the courts got involved. Now the money, because this is where the kitchen table math finally stopped working. John Deere dealer labor rates in 2026 are running between $150 and $185 per hour in most Midwest markets. A mid-complexity electronics repair triggered by a software fault, not a broken part, a software fault, runs 3 to 6 hours minimum before anyone touches a single component. That is between $450 and over $1,100 in labor alone on a machine that is not mechanically broken. Run that 2 or 3 times across a single season, and you are looking at $2,000 to $4,000 in dealer labor on a machine that never actually failed. That is not a repair bill, that is an access fee, and the farmer never agreed to it when he signed the purchase contract. The U.S. PERG estimate puts repair restriction costs across the industry at $4.2 billion per year for American farmers. John Deere is the name that comes up first every time that number gets discussed at a co-op meeting or an elevator. Then came the layoffs, and this is the part that hit the brand in a place no marketing campaign can reach. Between October 2023 and September 2025, John Deere cut more than 3,500 workers across Iowa and Illinois, Waterloo, Davenport, Dubuque, East Moline, Ottumwa. Towns where John Deere was not just an employer, it was the reason the town existed. Then in 2026, 610 more layoffs landed across Midwest facilities, while the company confirmed it was shifting production of certain loaders to a new plant in Ramos, Mexico. The record profit year was 2023, $10.166 billion, the best year in the company's 187-year history. The layoffs came right alongside it and right after it. This was not a company cutting jobs to survive. It was a company at its richest moment deciding it could do the math differently. A retired Iowa dealer said it plainly. The reason farmers paid premium prices for this equipment was because it was made by American workers. Take that out of the equation, and the premium needs a new justification. Right now, it does not have one. That is the brand damage that does not show up in a quarterly report until it is too late to reverse. Because it is not about one bad decision. It is about a pattern the farmer recognized and remembered. Now the financial picture, because the profit collapse tells you where this is heading. John Deere's net income fell from $10.166 billion in fiscal 2023 to approximately $5 billion in fiscal 2025. That is roughly half the company's peak earnings gone in 2 years. The 2026 forecast is between $4 billion and $4.75 billion, a fourth consecutive year of decline in the production and precision agriculture division. That is the tractors. That is the combines. The machines farmers actually know. The headline numbers looked acceptable to Wall Street only because the construction division posted operating profit up 48% in the most recent quarter. A backhoe saved the earnings call while the farm business kept sliding. Now the used market, because this is the loudest signal in American agriculture right now, and almost nobody outside of farm country is paying attention to it. New John Deere tractor sales were down 8.8% in the first quarter of 2026. Used late-model John Deere prices were up 12.5% in that same period. Buyers are paying more for a 10-year-old machine than they are willing to pay for the new one sitting on the dealer lot. That is not sentiment. That is a market telling you something specific. The features added to the new machine since the old one was built did not make it better. They made it worse, and buyers will pay a premium to avoid them. When used prices climb while new sales fall, the customer is sending a message in the only language a company truly understands. He is saying the machine you built 10 years ago is worth more to me than the machine you are building today. Now where the loyalty is actually going, because it has to go somewhere. Fendt has been expanding its American dealer network through AGCO's infrastructure investment across the upper Midwest and Northern Plains. Used Fendt units are holding resale value consistently at Sullivan Auctioneers and Steffi's Group through 2025 and 2026, showing stronger relative auction results than comparable our John Deere units at the same venues. AGCO posted growth and raised its dividend in the same reporting period that John Deere lowered its farm division guidance. Read those two trajectories side by side before making any 5-year equipment commitment. The trade-in reality is where this all lands in one number. A machine whose manufacturer is guiding its core farm division lower for the fourth consecutive year, cutting domestic production jobs, shifting manufacturing to Mexico, and carrying an active federal antitrust case. That machine's brand trajectory affects your trade-in value at the end of a 5-year ownership cycle, whether you track it or not. The dealer taking your John Deere in trade in 2031 is going to price that trade based on where the brand sits in 2031. Not where it sat in 2023 when the record profits made everything look permanent. Resale value is not just about the machine's mechanical condition. It is about how many buyers are competing for that brand at that moment in the used market. Brand trajectory determines buyer pool depth. Buyer pool depth determines your trade-in offer. Your trade-in offer determines your actual 5-year cost of ownership, regardless of what the monthly payment looked like on day one. Run the complete model before any purchase. Annual debt service at current rates between 7.5 and 8.5%, projected fuel cost, realistic repair exposure under the current diagnostic access architecture, and projected trade-in value based on current auction trend data for that specific brand in your specific county. That model, not the dealer's financing special in January when the showroom is quiet, is what tells you whether the machine you are about to buy protects your operation or quietly drains it across the next 5 years. The farmers leaving John Deere are not making an emotional decision. They ran the numbers. The numbers told them to leave. And they left the same way they make every other decision on the farm. Quietly, carefully, without needing anyone else's permission. Farm Gear Pro is going to keep tracking every auction result, every earnings report, and every legal development as this plays out through 2026 harvest and beyond. because the equipment decision you make this year defines your operation's financial position for the next decade. Thanks for watching Farm Gear Pro. If you found this breakdown valuable, share it with a fellow farmer and comment below your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next one.